Hey, Podski. So you're here because you've been bitten by the podcasting bug, but you're wondering what your podcast should be about. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you an awesome quiz with just 5 questions. If you answer all 5 of those questions, you'll have a very clear idea about what your podcast is going to be about. Okay, let's get started. Hey, welcome to the Pod Sound School. I'm Studio Steve. I'm a big-time podcast nerd and producer of audio and video, and I'm one of the creators of the Pod Sound School. Here on YouTube, we post videos every week all about podcasting, and we love helping our podskis go places and have a lot of fun with their shows. So since right after this video, you're gonna jump into developing your new show, subscribe to our channel, and you'll get updates when we drop our new videos. Okay, so what should my podcast be about? We get asked this question all the time, and it's Googled a lot too. So I thought I would help you out with a quiz that will help give you clarity and know full-heartedly what your new show should be about. And it's as easy as answering 5 questions. And if you stick around until the end of the video, there's a bonus question that is probably the most important thing to ask before starting your show. Okay, question number 1. What could I talk about endlessly? Take a minute or two to really think about the 1 or 2 subjects or topics that you could happily rant and rave about until your face turns blue. What do you find yourself getting excited about when people bring up? What do you feel like you are really knowledgeable about? The answer to this one question or idea is really the only one you need to get started. Passion and enthusiasm for a topic is what makes podcasts really stand out from the rest. If you find, however, that there are lots of topics that you love to talk about, make a list of your top 5 and see if there's a way that you can tie those 5 topics together into one main topic. It's important for our shows not to be all over the map, especially at first. It's easier to grow a podcast and reach more people if at first you settle on one specific approach. Veronica also has a great video all about podcast topics, and you can find that by clicking on the little info button that appears here or by checking out the description box below. Okay, question number 2. Do I like to write? The answer to this question will help you determine what style of podcast might be the best for you. And by style, I'm referring to scripted or unscripted. Are you someone who loves to read and write? Do you also enjoy reading your writing out loud? There are many benefits to having a scripted show, and it can be one of the easiest ways to get started, especially if you love to write. Every imaginable topic can be amazingly written about by you. Writing also allows you to more easily plan out many episodes or even entire seasons in advance. If you're a storyteller and you find yourself constantly telling stories to your friends and family, you can incorporate your storytelling abilities into your podcast and you're going to have really good results. Even if your subject is educational or informative, say something like personal finance or fitness or nursing tips, your audience will always connect to your content more if you find ways to tie stories into your episodes. Everyone loves a good story. What stories can you tell around your topic? We have 2 videos all about storytelling in podcasting. You can check those out when you're done with your quiz. I know you'll find them helpful. And before we move on to number 3, if on the other hand, you really don't like writing, and especially really don't like reading things aloud, then an unscripted podcast would be a much better option for you. But even with unscripted podcasts, remember to have an outline and try to only cover a few basic points in each episode. Staying focused and telling your listeners what the episode is going to be all about will really help you reach more people. And this idea of unscripted episodes transitions perfectly to your 3rd question. You're writing these down, right? Okay. Number 3, do you like meeting new people? Are you a social butterfly? Do you love having conversations? If so, then you are a great candidate for an interview podcast. Interview podcasts are so much fun and can provide so many benefits for you as a podcaster and a person. There are countless testimonials from podcasters about how valuable the networking element and the power of association that has come from their interview-based podcast has been for them. Interview podcasts, however, come with quite a bit more work than solo or co-hosted podcasts. You have to continually find new guests. You want to find guests that you're not only interested in, but that you think your listeners would be interested in too. You'll also need to brush up on your interviewing skills. But don't let any of that stuff scare you. Even if you're not the most social person or you don't feel confident interviewing people, this is a really great time to get out of your comfort zone and start reaching out to people for interviews. You'll be so surprised how many people will not only be willing to give you an interview, but really excited to be on your show. With interviews, it's also a good idea to keep the interview focused on just a few key points. Also, give your audience an intro about what the episode is going to be about, and don't take too long introducing yourself or the guest on every single episode. Just get to the point. And a final tip with interviewing, don't worry if you're nervous or trip over your words constantly in your first handful of interviews. That's what editing's for. And we have lots of videos all about editing if you're brand new to that. Also, I actually just put together a free 40-minute training for beginners that will get you started editing. You can learn more about that by clicking on this eye thingy here or by checking the description box below. Come hang out with me for 40 minutes or so and learn how to edit podcasts. Okay, just 2 more questions. Question number 4, are you committed? Am I committed? This is an important question. Did you know that the majority of people who start a podcast don't make it past episode 7? Podcasting takes a lot of effort and time. So here it's a good idea to take a look back at the first couple of questions. Does the topic you've chosen seem like one you could keep talking about for years to come? Can you imagine all sorts of different directions you could take that topic over a long period of time? Or is your topic a standalone story that maybe only has 10 episodes and then it's finished? The great thing about podcasting is that there are no rules or stringent conventions. You can make whatever kind of podcast you want to. But it's a good idea to take some time right now and ask, hey, am I committed to come out with a podcast episode every week? Because it's going to take that kind of commitment to reach a big audience and to start to experience all the amazing and unbelievable benefits that come with having your own show. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely think that you need to start your podcast now, and you're crazy if you don't. But ask yourself what goals you might have with your podcast. The goals don't have to be huge and insane, but hey, why can't they be? Don't be afraid to dream big. And don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and into the light. The world is waiting for you. Okay, and the last question for your quiz, number 5. Is there a cause that you want to serve? Some of the most amazing and successful podcasts come from a place of solving problems or serving a community. Take a minute and think about what skills or knowledge and life experiences you have that could help people. What struggles have you overcome? We all have so many stories and struggles, and most of us are so much stronger and awesomer than we think we are. Is there something in the world that you wish didn't exist? Is there a topic that you don't think people discuss enough? Coming from a place of service and wanting to help is one of the best places to start because you already have your audience in mind. Most people who start a podcast start it for themselves because it sounds fun, they love the topic, they love to talk, they want to give it a try. It's not until many episodes later that they realize that people are listening and that they have an audience that they are faced with the journey of getting to know their audience and their community. The more you have your audience in mind, the more you can get really specific about who you imagine is going to be listening to your show, the better results you'll have, and the longer you'll stay podcasting. And that brings us to the bonus question I promised. Who are you creating your podcast for? This is the question I want you to replace your original question with and the title of this video with. So instead of asking, what should my podcast be about? Try asking, who should I make a podcast for? Do that, and you've got the ticket to podcasting success. And that's it from me today, Podski. What did you think? If you found this useful at all, give me a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel. If this is your first time stopping by the Pod Sound School, hey, you haven't even met the better half of the Pod Sound School yet, Veronica. Sometimes we do videos together, and she also has a ton of really cool videos that she has created. So go binge on her videos and take notes. We don't just want you to start a podcast, we want you to go places with it. So stay in touch, and until the next video, happy casting, podcastero.